I wanted to say an additional word about gaining permission as it relates to sacred sites. Um, any place in nature is a sacred place. There are certain places where there are interesting or unique geological formations, certain things going on with maybe energy lines in the earth, different habitations or structures that have been built, like Machu Picchu, um, Bandelier National Monument, Stonehenge, many different places on the planet. So regarding these specific places, it's very important to get into resonance with the site, because there's a lot of human activity that's been in the site, a lot of different things have been going on, and especially if it's a national park, there may be a restriction on what you can do. So kind of leads us into the discussion of what are you asking permission to do? And I would say coming into resonance or asking permission to come into resonance is a very pure, always applicable and always appropriate motivation or request, regardless of where you're at. It's like you're meeting a new friend. So you desire to look, to be in their presence, to exchange breath with them, to exchange energy and information about them. And that's typically enough to get an energetic internal discussion going between you and the site, or you and the monument. So that's really the common and most appropriate way that you would interact with a site. You do your own inner journeying, your own inner work with the site. Now there is another level beyond that, which is to actually do sacred ceremony at a site. And for this it gets a little bit more nuanced, because for instance at certain national parks or monuments, you can't take a musical instrument in there. Could be a compact size or whatever. So things like drumming may be out of the question, rattle work or whatever. Certain of these things you just may not be able to do based on the regulations or the restrictions or the protocols that are there already. And you should always honor those protocols, because if you don't, you run the risk of getting yourself kicked out of the park. So in order to extend your time there and get what you came there for, typically, as I said, it's appropriate to ask permission to the site, to the guardians that are there, which are the energies that are there, to interact with something. I would think it would almost always be appropriate to pour a little water on the ground. Some people leave a pinch of tobacco or cornmeal, or if you're in South America, coca leaves. A little here and there is an appropriate giveaway. That's always right. And I think where I would be the most sensitive regarding a sacred area or a sacred site is if it was tribal land. Now, if it's tribal land, because of the history between how these people have been treated and basically put on reservations and all that, I think that it's best to not do ceremony, certainly any outward ceremony, when you're on anyone's tribal land like that. In that case, you would want to go to somebody who lives there, somebody who's part of the tribe, state your intention as a spiritual person that you would like to honor the land, and in that case be open to their suggestions as far as how you do that. And that's something that tends to get in our way all the time, is that we come with our own ideas of the kind of ceremony or the kind of honoring that we want to do with the land, how we want to interact with the site. And usually the more specific we become about it and not open to change or on-the-spot inspiration, then it's easier for us to get out of resonance, out of harmony with the site. It's always good to ask the people because they live there, and if you can be a part of their ceremony, their sweat lodge, their sun dance, whatever their ceremony is, that would be a great honor for you. You would learn a lot, And the key thing is, if you're in that kind of environment, to not ask a lot of questions. Again, the old ways, the ancient ways, are typically that you watch and that you learn through observation, and that you don't do things on your own. You don't have your idea of what you want to do. If you have an idea, is it okay if I sit on the ground, if I wear a short sleeve shirt, whatever, before you would take those kind of actions to stay in harmony with the tribe or with the group, you would ask first. That way that'll save you embarrassment, probably make your time with the group, that ceremony, a lot more pleasant and a lot more meaningful, less stressful for everybody else. So if you go onto tribal lands, a lot of tribal lands in the desert Southwest, honor the people, try to be friendly, and definitely don't do things without asking permission. Thank you.